Do you ever feel like you're not cut out to be a leader because you're not outgoing enough? Or maybe you feel that your strong analytical mind isn't leadership material. Well, here's the truth. The best leaders don't try to fit into a mold. They leverage their unique personality strengths to lead authentically and effectively. So stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to show you how to identify and unlock your natural strengths for leadership success. Plus, I'll share the one strength that got me from being a quiet problem solver to a successful executive director at one of the world's largest investment banks. As someone who's climbed the corporate ladder now from entry-level roles to executive director at large global investment banks, I can tell you firsthand that leadership isn't reserved for the extrovert or for people with a certain personality type. I've led diverse teams, tackled really complex problems, and delivered products that impact thousands of individuals. Along the way, I've learned to harness my own strengths and empower others to do the same. And I'm here to share those lessons with you today. So let's start with firstly understanding why personality and understanding your personality is really important to your leadership. It's important first of all and fundamentally to know that leadership is all about authenticity. It's about you being yourself and bringing skills to your own personality that help you be successful, make others around you successful. People trust leaders who are comfortable in their own skin, not people who are trying to be someone else. And let's not take my word for it, let's look at some stats. A recent survey done by Gallup, a workplace consultancy firm, has shown that leaders who focus on their own strengths are 74% more engaged, and they're 31% more productive. So that's not a coincidence, that's just science. There are some things that you can do to start with on your journey to make you understand who you are and what makes you you. The first thing you can do is take a personality test. Now, these personality tests can be quite complex, and they're personality assessments that are done in certain leadership courses or can be done to help you excel and grow your leadership skills. So think about some of the personality assessments that are out there in your own workplace that you can access, or some that you can access online. I'll give you a few examples of some great personality assessments. I personally like DISC. DISC works really well at showing you the different areas of your personality that you can have strengths in. There's also the famous Myers-Briggs assessment, or the MBTI, which you can access. Really gives you a good access into your natural tendencies as well. And my personal favorite is the Hogan assessment. Now, the Hogan assessment for me, and I've done many personality assessments over the years I've been working, the Hogan assessment has been the most detailed and the most accurate one. DISC and Myers-Briggs have also been accurate, but Hogan has gone to another level of detail. So if you have access to Hogan assessments, I do recommend you take the Hogan test. Why is this important? Why do you need to take an assessment to know about your own personality? Because what it shows underneath is your natural tendencies and your natural biases and strengths. And that's really important for you to understand what you naturally gravitate towards and what your natural strengths are, because these are easier ones for you to nurture than your weaknesses are ones that you need to rewire your brain and sort of stretch yourself to really grow. So it's important to know that the strengths that you can naturally gravitate towards and do better in, and also the weaknesses. Another great way to understand your personality is to ask for feedback. Sometimes others see the strengths in you that you overlook. So if there are people in your workplace that you trust, or people that you get on with on a certain level where you can ask for that feedback, then please go ahead and do that, because you might be not seeing some of the strengths that you actually have. Seeing it from the personality types of others and the angles of others is really important as well. Another way you can look into your own personality, start to form a bit of a map of this, is by reflecting on when you've been praised or when you've done a good job. Look at the highs that have happened at work and where you played a role in that, and what did you do to get that praise. These are all really important factors that help you shape your own strengths and your personality profile. Think about the tasks that energized you, or the ones that really got you motivated to do a good job. So once you've identified your personality strengths, here's how to apply them to leadership. So if you're an analytical thinker, then your superpower is being able to break down problems. You can be the person that is setting clear goals, articulating an ambiguous problem, trying to find clarity in it, identifying risks and using data to drive decision making, all of that is key to analytical thinking, and you can bring that to your leadership style. And for those whose key strength is empathetic and being an active listener, your strength lies in understanding people. This means that you can build trust quickly, you can engage with others, resolve conflict, and really create an environment of supportive psychological safety that can lead to a thriving, productive output that you need. So focus on the strength of being able to empathize with others and use it as a form of influence in your leadership skills. And for those of you who are a visionary, you need to think about the big picture and be that big picture thinker in your organization. Use your ability to inspire others, set a clear vision and get people to work towards that. But at the same time, if you're a visionary, you're going to need to surround yourself with detailed people who can get the job done as well. So surround yourself with people who are detailed oriented and be that visionary person that drives them forward with the big picture. And if you're an action oriented doer or someone who likes to get stuff done, you thrive on crossing out that item off your list that you've got done and seeing a full list of items crossed off. So you should focus on leading by example and empowering others to do the same. Whilst I'm telling you to focus a lot on your strengths here, there are some common pitfalls we need to avoid, and each strength has a blind spot, and it's all about balancing your strengths with your weaknesses. As an example, it's key that you do not rely or over-rely on one of your strengths. So for example, if you're really detailed focused, just don't rely on being detailed focused alone, because then you may lose sight of the bigger picture, that visionary thinking. So you need to really think about balancing being detailed oriented with understanding and not losing sight of the bigger picture as well. Do not ignore your weaknesses. Even though we've talked about strengths here, say for example, you are really good at getting the job done and you're a doer, but you're not as empathetic or as good with people, then focus on developing your people skills, developing the way you build trust, because that will overall make you a more compelling leader, a more impactful leader. Well, and one of the most biggest common pitfalls even that I've suffered from is imposter syndrome. So rule number one here is don't let yourself hold you back. Don't let self-doubt creep in. Just remember, it's your unique personality that's going to make you a great leader. So if I quickly share a personal story from my career, and I go back now from before when I was starting to get into leadership, and I noticed myself as being someone who is really good at solving problems and also good at connecting with people, but I was struggling to get that credibility, feel the gravitas of leadership, or just being taken seriously enough for it. So what I did was lean into those two strengths of mine more so. If I'm good at solving problems and I'm good at connecting with people, then I used my abilities to build trust with the right people. Once I built trust and was able to solve problems for those individuals, I started to build credibility in my organization. And still continuing that mix today and leading from that example, I'm now managing large, high-performing teams and working on cutting-edge, innovative, generative AI products, ambiguous areas, but I'm keen on solving problems that even are unclear for the future. And this all started with me embracing who I am. So now it's your turn. Take a moment to reflect on your unique strengths and think about how you can apply these to your own leadership style. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you do not miss any of the leadership tips that I have coming in weekly. And I would absolutely love it if you left a comment on this video and tell me all about your strengths and what is your biggest strength, and I'd love to celebrate it with you. Just remember that great leaders aren't born, they are built. And the best way to build your leadership skills is to leverage your incredible strengths that are in you today. You don't need to change who you are to succeed. You just need to unleash your potential. Stick around for more videos and see you in the next one.